Hello, everyone. Welcome to an APH Virtual Excel Academy. We are glad to have you with us today. Today, we are talking about recreation and leisure, finding your hobby. Maybe you have one. Maybe you'll find a new one today. Welcome. Glad to have our friends join us today. This is the APH Virtual Excel Academy. This one is meant for students that we're just going to take it a little bit slower, more relaxed. Today is recreation and leisure, and it is finding your hobby. Hi, Nitya, how you doing? Hello, Donnie and Isabel. Love seeing our friends with us today. One more time as people are coming in, welcome to the APH Virtual Excel Academy. Today is recreation and leisure, finding your hobby. And we have a special instructor with us today, Lara Whitney. How are you today?
I'm good, thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Great to have you. I am going to turn these students over to you.
Great, thank you. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining. I'm so happy to be here today, and I'm happy that you took some time out of your day to be here with me as well. I love to say hi and see all of your comments in chat. And we will be using chat a little bit later today, so you can get that ready now. But don't worry, I will let you know when I'm going to ask some big questions. So I'll give you plenty of time. Hi, Nydia. I see you've said, "What's up?" I'm having a good day. Thanks for asking. My name is Lara Whitney, and I live in Utah, and I work for USDB. And today is a sunny, nice day. I'm excited for summer to come. During this past crazy year, I started a new hobby of gardening, and I've been somewhat successful. I have raised some plants and in some cases brought some back to life. I see in our chat, Donnie says hi, hello. And Nydia says woohoo. I feel the same. Gardening is fun for me. I like it, but sometimes I still need a little bit more practice. And that's okay. Rachel thinks gardening is fun. I think it's fun too. I like to grow herbs and vegetables so that I can use them in my kitchen and in my cooking. And that's one of the hobbies I have that I enjoy. So, as we mentioned, today we are going to talk about recreation and leisure. Another word I will be using is hobbies. And I would like to share my screen with you now. To show you what we have here. This screen says recreation and leisure, finding your hobby. Today, we are going to be focusing this webinar for individuals who are a little bit older in 7th grade or 12th grade to post-high, and their family members or their teachers. But some of you might have seen my first webinar and you're just interested to know more about recreation and leisure. And it's great that you joined us today. However, if these categories aren't you, that's okay. You can join us too. Everyone is welcome, and we're happy to have you here today. Some of you might have known that I did do a webinar before that talks about recreation and leisure. And it will be an introduction, and it will give you a very clear understanding of what recreation and leisure activities are and what they look like, and more importantly, which ones they are not. You need to know which activities are not recreation and leisure too. Nydia, this is a perfect lesson for you today. She says in our chat, this is her. The audience fits her. I'm glad that you are all here today. So for today, we're going to be talking about those recreation and leisure skills. You'll hear those words a lot today. How you can find one that is best for you. And after today, I hope that you will be able to make some choices on which hobbies you'd like. And more importantly, maybe choose a hobby that you've never tried before, something that's new. And it might be a challenge at first. We like to have those challenges in life. Those are fun. That helps us to learn and to grow. And it's good for us to try new things. Sometimes we'll be good at them, and sometimes we'll need a little bit more practice, like me with gardening. I need a little bit more practice on that one. We will also learn where you can meet other people who like those same activities, or maybe somewhere in your community or your school where you can practice those. Sorry about that. My screen is, oh my. I'm pushing all sorts of buttons over here. So our objectives today will be that you will learn recreation and leisure choices that are based on your interests, that match your personal needs. And you will learn where you can find these activities in your school or community. First, I want to just go over a little bit of what those words mean. Some of you might already know, and this will be a refresher. And some of you, this will be new. You can sometimes see recreation and leisure used interchangeably. Sometimes you'll see one or the other, or you'll see both of them. But the similar theme with these words is free time, or time that is set aside from work. So this would be time specifically designated in our schedules to have fun. Time when we're not working. These activities would include things that make us happy, things that we like to do for either a long or a short period of time. Something that you don't get bored doing. You can do it day after day, and it's still something that you enjoy. You can see on my side, the last word is hobby. You might not see that word on your IEP, but it's a word that means very similar meaning and activities to recreation and leisure. Sometimes people will ask you, what is your hobby? Do you have a hobby? So it's good to know what those words mean, and that when they say hobby, they still mean recreation and leisure. I'm checking my chat to see if anyone would like to answer. Do you have a hobby yet? You can say yes or no. Donnie says in our chat, yes. I love that. We're going to talk more about what hobbies and recreation leisures are. One reason we have these goals on our IEP is that they can give you a feeling of confidence. You can feel that makes you feel good about yourself. Nydia says listening to Indian music and watching Indian movies. I really like that. I think that would be a very interesting hobby. That's something that I haven't tried before, but I might want to try. When we have recreation and leisure goals that you're good at, you can feel like you could be good at other things too. It can make you feel like other things that you haven't tried might be things that you could be good at as well. It can make you feel capable in your skills and abilities and things that you can do. Donnie in our chat says performing New York at weddings. That sounds awesome, Donnie. I would love to see that. I bet you put on a really good show. Okay, so we're going to talk about taking ownership of your goals. What does that mean? Taking ownership. Some of you might have recreation and leisure goals, and some of you might not. For those of you who do, you might feel like they were goals that were written for you or maybe chosen by someone else for you. And so I want you to feel like you can take ownership of your goals. What would that look like? I have 3 steps on how you can start to take ownership of those goals. Our first step is to speak up, use your voice, communicate with your teacher that you would like to have a little bit more say. And your teachers are going to be so happy to hear this. They want to help you. They'll be excited to know you want to take ownership of your goals. Nydia in our chat says you would have your own goals. That's right. When you take ownership, you would have your own goals and you'd have a voice in what they are. Sounds like Nydia has spoken up. She's used her voice to find her goals. She's got step 1 down. Step 2 is being informed. So we need to know about which activities are considered recreation and leisure and which ones are work. We're not going to talk about that one as much today, but if it's something you're interested in, I encourage you again to go back and watch that first webinar because that will give you a lot of information on being informed, which ones are goals that you can choose for recreation and leisure. This last step is what we'll talk a lot about today. Knowing your needs. No one knows you better than you know you. And it can be a good idea to have others help you, but we're going to talk about knowing your needs. Donnie says, how do I access the webinars? And in my PowerPoint, I will show you a link. I showed it to you before, but I will show it to you again at the end of our session today. Since you're with us today, Donnie, you can stay with us. Knowing your needs. So there'll be a few different needs that we have that we'll consider. We have mobility needs. We have communication needs. And we have some social expectations and rules. So let's talk about what those mean. For mobility, when you're thinking of a new hobby, you'll want to know how you're going to get there. Maybe you'll use public transportation, and you'll need to know which stop you get on, which stop you get off, maybe how many stops are in between. We will need to know if you are using a wheelchair, where those wheelchair accessibility routes are. Mapping it out ahead of time can be helpful. You're going to want to map it out and know which route you'll need to take, maybe how long it's going to take you to get there. So if you use a cane, you'll want to know maybe a little bit more of the terrain. That means the surfaces on the roads. Some hobbies will have different areas that you'll play in, like dirt fields or really smooth concrete that can be slippery. Or there will be some that have very rubbery textures. So you'll want to kind of know where you're going and what it's going to be like before you get there. Plan it out ahead of time, map it out. Okay, so now that you've gotten there, you'll need to know maybe the mobility that will happen during the activity. If you're playing basketball and you're in a wheelchair, you'll need to know how you're going to get from one end of the court to the other. These are all things that you'll want to plan ahead for. Communication needs. So some of you might use sign language. Some of you are able to read and write. Some of you will be using pictures to demonstrate what you are saying or what you need. If you're someone who uses sign language or other means, you might need to prepare for talking to someone who doesn't know sign. So are you going to use a notepad? Are we going to use picture symbols to communicate to them? If you're someone who has a communication book, you'll want to think about the words that you'll use in an activity. So let's say you want to try photography. You'll want to have your book, or you'll want to learn the signs for camera or picture. There is a lens that you use to focus or zoom in and out, or lighting. You'll want to be familiar with those words too. Some of the activities you choose will have rules. This happens a lot with sports, and sometimes they can use different lingo. Like for baseball, we have home run. Home run is when you go through all of the bases and you score. You'll need to know how they score and how many points. So these will be things that you'll need to learn before you go out on your activity. Donnie in our chat says, and Special Olympics. That is a great answer, Donnie. I have some information at the end of this about the Special Olympics too. I think we're on the same path. You're thinking ahead. All right. So for some of you, it will be a good idea to have all of this information on your mobility needs, your communication needs, and maybe those roles in one place. Maybe a book that you keep with you, or a notepad, or a sheet of paper that you can share with others and you can describe. On this slide, I have some examples of what some of those communication aids would look like. I have a picture of a card that says, I have a hearing loss. Nydia says, or text, that's a great way. Not everyone's gonna have a notepad on you, but most of you might have a cell phone or an iPad, and you can text on those. That's a great answer. You can carry these cards to let people know that you are a lip reader. So there's two cards. The first one says, I have a hearing loss, and it has a picture of an ear with a line through it. And it says, please face me, speak clearly, and use your language if necessary. I'm a lip reader is the next card. It also has a picture with an ear and a line through it. And it has those same prompts. Please face me and speak clearly. Don't shout, and write your message. The next picture is a picture of an orange card with 6 dots on it. This was a card one of my students used because he had a hard time keeping pace. Sometimes he would get lost in thought, and it would be hard for him to complete a sentence before people were kind of forgot what he said at the beginning. So when we would point at those dots, it would help him keep his pace. That's something that he would need to take out in the community with him. Nydia says that looks like a Braille card. It does. If you flipped it up right side up, it would look like a Braille cell. Those 6 dots. The next picture has an example of someone who would use symbols or object cues. And it has a card with a Subway sandwich wrap to look like a sandwich. And then a cup lid and a straw. And that's to symbolize Subway. There's a card in the middle that says, I am deaf and blind. Please tap me when my order is ready. If you're someone who's deaf and blind, that would be helpful to have out in the community. So those will all be things you'll want to be thinking about. So before you get too far into picking a hobby, you'll want to make sure that they match your preferences. Things that you like to do would be good things to pick for hobbies. Things you don't like to do probably might not be the best option. We want to make sure that you have fun. And when you choose activities that you enjoy, it can be good for your physical health, your mental health. It can be something that relieves stress and anxiety. So want to pick those things we like. Something that you're already good at can be something that you look at. I mentioned before, when you're already good at something, it makes you feel like you could try other things that you might be good at, or it makes you feel good about yourself because you have succeeded. But I challenge you all to find something new too. Maybe you don't know you're going to be good at it yet. You never know until you try. Trying those new things can be lots of fun. All right, so we've talked a little bit, and I'm going to ask you in this next section to bring up your chat box if you haven't already. And while my friends are getting ready, we're going to just take a little stretch. I know sometimes when I'm at the computer, my shoulders get close to my ears. We're going to move our heads. For those of you who can stretch, you can move your arms and your shoulders. We're going to get those typing fingers ready. In this next section, I'm going to be showing you some pictures of activities that you might like or you don't like. If you like them, I want you to say yes, or you can answer with a why. If you don't like them, say no, or answer with a no. And this is something I would like to participate in too. So I'll be answering and letting you know the things that I like. What do you like or dislike? Here we go. This is drawing. This picture shows a picture of a man sitting at an easel. It is angled for him, and he has a clip on the left side of his paper. It's from behind his back. And it looks like he is drawing one man who's standing straight up tall and another figure who's bending over a little bit. This man is drawing. Who likes to draw? I like to draw, but I'm not very good at it. Nydia says no. You know what? I think if I were better at it, I might like it more. Donnie says no. And that's okay. Not every hobby is going to be things we like. Rachel also says no. Let's see if we can find a hobby that we like. This next picture is a picture of a soccer ball, and they're on a green field. The boy is standing on his left leg, and his right leg is reaching back to kick the ball. He has long red socks. He's playing soccer. He has red shorts. Soccer was a game that everyone in my school loved to play when I was younger. Donnie says no. Donnie, I'm going to have to agree with you. Soccer wasn't very fun for me. Nydia says no. Ooh. Rachel says yes. We have our first yes. I want to find other hobbies that we might like a little bit better. We have a picture of a table and a woman who is doing a puzzle. We can see her arms. Looks like she separated them into piles. The puzzle pieces are being organized. I do like puzzles. Puzzles are a great way to relax your mind. Nydia says no, that's okay. I did lots of puzzles in the pandemic. Zach likes video game puzzles. That's another great way to adapt. Sometimes the puzzles you do are not going to be with the puzzle pieces, but they might be on your phone. And you can make them bigger, Zach says. That's right. Sometimes those pieces can get really small. The next picture we have is a woman with a camera and she's taking pictures. She likes photography. I like photography. Donnie says no. Nydia says no. This is a great way for you guys to know your preferences. These are the things you like and don't like. So far, these hobbies would not be ones that Nitya and Donnie would choose. But Rachel says yes, kind of. So maybe this would be something that Rachel could try a new hobby. Maybe she could practice a little more. Zach is taking a photography class and he's not sure if he likes it yet. But you know what, Zach? I'm glad that you tried something new. You met the challenge, trying new hobbies. This is the one I enjoy, is gardening. There's a woman who has some plants and she's putting some dirt and soil in. I like gardening. Donnie says no. And Nydia in our chat says no. Okay. I have a few more pictures in my slide, but I'd like to spend some time talking a little bit about how you find your hobby. Maybe you feel like you don't have one yet. So, how are we going to find a hobby? Typically, recreation and leisure activities are separated into two categories called active and passive. You'll want to think about your goal for a recreation or hobby. Do you want to go out and meet people? Do you want to move your body and get out in the sun? Do you want to have a creative outlet, a way to express yourself? Physical and creative are those more active activities because they use a lot of your body. They use movement. Creative hobbies can use a lot of your hands, like painting and sewing. Whereas our passive activities will be things that are in the mental category or the observing. So for our mental, we have board games and those puzzles, or those puzzles on the video games. Get your mind thinking. Maybe you have problem solving games, or there's observing. Maybe you're one who likes to kind of just sit back and enjoy watching plays or ballet or theater. Those are all observing passive activities. Okay, so maybe you're feeling like you still need a little bit of help on finding those hobbies and skills you'd like to try. We have personality quizzes that can help you here. So, a personality quiz is something that will ask you lots of questions or maybe a few questions. Some can be long and some can be short, but they ask you about you, things you like to do, maybe things that you like to find challenging. One of the most popular personality quizzes is the Myers-Briggs. Donnie says it's like a survey. It is a survey of you, a survey all about you. So if you are someone who's interested about you, I think you are, a Myers-Briggs personality test could be something that you try. So it breaks it down into 4 categories, and it'll give you a grade of something that kind of looks like this. Oh, those are a lot of numbers, or I'm sorry, letters. And sometimes that looks a little overwhelming to me. But that's what your score will look like. When you take one of these quizzes or follow this link, it will take you to a site that will ask you those questions that then give you information on maybe some hobbies that it thinks you would like. If you don't want to try it on the website, we also have an app that's called The Personality Types. So if you have a smartphone, you can go to your app store or the Google Play or wherever you download new apps and type in the personality types, and it will bring up the Myers-Briggs test for you. And it will give you one of these scores. So the I is for someone who is a little bit more independent. They like to do things on their own. These are hobbies that you can do without other people. And the E is for people who like to socialize and get out and talk with lots of people. And so each letter has a different meaning. But we also have some here that you can try. If the Myers-Briggs is not one for you, we have a fun National Geographic for kids that has a whole bunch of silly quizzes. What kind of silly animal are you? What kind of tech you like, technology as far as our phones and our computers. Some other ones that might not help you find hobbies, but would be helpful to know are your learning preferences. That can be things like we have visual learners, we have auditory learners, we have kinesthetic learners, which means those people who like to get their hands in things and move around. And that can be a great way of learning. Donnie says he just downloaded the app. I'm glad to know that it's accessible to you and easy. I think that will be a great way for you to learn about you. Way to go, Donnie. And then your communication needs. This could be a fun quiz to take so you can learn about how you communicate a little bit better or how you can try to learn new ways to communicate. Another thing that you can do to learn how to find those hobbies is most schools will have transition checklists. So each district or state will have their own, but I've just given a quick example here. This one is from the Prince Edward Island Department of Education. I want to make sure they get their credit. It is a PDF form and it has a lot of pages to explain it. But at the end, it has your personality quizzes. It'll ask you questions on classes you like, what kinds of things you like to do, what you maybe want to do for work in the future. Okay. If you have used these things and these ways to find a hobby, you're going to need to know where to go. How are you going to practice it? Maybe you want to meet other people who do it. And your school is the first place I encourage you all to look to. This picture has a picture of 4 kids who are in front of, it looks like a soccer goalie. Their shirts have goals with a soccer ball for the O. And they all have their arms around each other and smiling. Your schools can offer things like extracurricular classes. Big word. But that means classes that you can take for theater or choir. Maybe you're someone who likes to do art, like ceramics or pottery. Some schools are even lucky enough to have swimming pools, and you can learn to swim. That was something I wish my school had, was a swimming pool. I would have liked to learn swimming in school. There's some of photography. I wonder if Zach's photography class was through his school. Your school is the first best place to turn to. So make sure you talk with your teachers and your friends and your parents about what your classes offer. Zach's photography class is online, and that's another great way that you can access things. Rachel says, this club sounds like fun. I agree. You get to learn lots of new people. Another resource you can use is your community. This is where Donnie reminded us about Special Olympics. But we have Home Depot and Michael's. I know my Home Depot and Michael's have classes that you can take, and they will give you projects to work on. Sometimes they're free, sometimes you need to pay. Or there's after-school programs that you can join. Zach says his library has stuff. Libraries are great ways to turn to do. We have boys and girls clubs for those people who want to meet other people, who want to get out in their community and do fun things while sharing.
Hi, Laura Leigh. This is Robin from the background. I just wanted to let you know that Isabel's hand is up. She would like to say something to you.
Yes.
So Isabel, I'm going to unmute you so you can talk to Lara Leigh, and you know what to do from there.
Thank you, Isabel.
Zoom webinar, lower hand button.
Did you know that the Home Depot had a T at the depot?
It has an E.
A T.
Oh, you're right. Home Depot. I should spell check that, huh?
Yeah.
Thank you, Isabel. I am so grateful that you were reading my PowerPoint and noticed that.
Thanks.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Sometimes I can get a little confused. That's a great point.
Thanks.
I will be sure to change that before we share that all with you.
Okay. Some people call it Home Depot.
Oh, yep. Sometimes the way words are spelled, it can be tricky on how you pronounce them, huh?
Yeah.
Raise hand button.
Thank you. And then we have Joanne's is the one YouTube that has lots of tutorials on how you can make fun things at home. You might have to buy the supplies first, but this one for the link is to make an easy tote bag. Who can't have enough bags? I always like to make sure that I have plenty of bags. Oh, and Leanne said it is spelled correctly. Thank you.
No problem. The T is just silent.
Yes. All right. And thank you all for joining me today. I did leave a little bit of time for questions, but you don't have to have any if you don't want to. While I'm waiting for some of those questions, we can go back and look at some of those other hobbies that you might like.
There is a question about if it's okay to get help for your hobbies.
Yes, it is okay to get help for your hobbies. And I think that one of the biggest things that you can do is asking your teachers and your friends for help. And sometimes when we ask for help, we learn new things. I know I've asked for a lot of help with my gardening. And that is something that I have been better at because of the help I asked for. It helps me to learn new things that I didn't know before.
How do you
Thank you,
stop
Rachel.
someone from giving too much help?
Yes. We want to make sure that you can do those things independently too. But at the beginning, you might need a little bit more help. But practice is important too. You want to practice a lot. Practice might not make perfect, but it does make progress.
Well, that looks like we're going to have people digging and searching into their hobbies. We'll have to wait and see what people, if they've come up with any new hobbies after today.
Yes,
So I
the
want to
challenge is to
definitely,
find new hobbies.
yeah, I'm wondering, does anyone have a hobby out there that they're going to try that they didn't think about before? Maybe they can report back after our spring break week. Next week is our spring break, so we have no virtual Excel Academy next week,
Yes.
but we do the week following.
And I'd like to hear from Donnie about his personality test.
Rachel says she wants to try a class at school now.
Your schools are those really good places to look for. You're there, you have parents to help you, and teachers.
That would be great. Oh, Donnie said he finished his.
Done.
Wonder if you learned anything new about yourself. Nikki asks, what about classical Indian music? Laura Leigh?
I am not very informed on that, and that's something that I think I could try. You have challenged me, Nadia, to try that. I'm going to learn about it so that I'm informed, and then I'm going to figure out what my needs are and where I can access it. Oh, Nadia says it's hard. You know what? Sometimes a challenge is a good thing.
It does sound good. Well, I want to say thank you, Laura Leigh. This has been great talking about our hobbies, getting a different peek into other people's hobbies. Laura Leigh, what do you think besides gardening is a hobby of yours?
I like to paddleboard in the summer. That's a fairly new hobby that I've tried, but it makes my body feel strong and I feel confident. And after a good workout, I feel tired, but the next day my body feels like it is capable of doing new things. I like to listen to music. Music is a good way to calm any anxiety or stress or relax. Sometimes the songs I listen to relax me. Donnie says, I love karaoke. I do too.
That could be a really good
fun.
hobby.
I might not sound very well, but I have fun.
Well,
you.
thank you again. This has been great. I'm going to let everybody know that next week is a break, but after that, our Tuesday session is on first aid, and you never know, doing some of your hobbies, you might need to know a little bit about first aid. So that's Tuesday. Wednesday, we're going to make sense of grocery stores. And on Thursday, we get to cook breakfast and kind of discuss where our food comes from when we have a breakfast food. And this would be an American breakfast food in case we have people from other countries joining us. So I want to say thank you so much, Laura Leigh, and enjoy our spring break, even if it might not be your spring break.
Thank you. Try some of those hobbies.